Hi everyone, welcome back to the Code Step by Step channel. My name is Anil Sidhu, and in this Laravel tutorial series, we will talk about Blade template in Laravel. So if we use Blade template in Laravel, our application will perform better as well as will save lots of time also. How? You'll get to know in this part. So first of all, we'll talk what is Blade template, why we need it, what is the expression of Blade template, how we can display its variable, how we can execute function in Blade template, how we can use if else and else if, how to use for loop, how we can make for each, and at last we'll discuss some important interview question also. And this is the Laravel 13 tutorial series that will definitely help you out for Laravel project, interviews and job. So you can watch it, it will definitely help you out. So now let's talk about first question. What is Blade template? See, this is a powerful templating engine to execute the PHP code. And we use Blade template only for the UI code, not for the controller, model and other code, right? So wherever we have to use HTML, UI code, there we basically use the Blade template. Now the next question is, can't we use normal PHP code rather than the Blade template? Definitely we can use, but syntax of Blade template is simpler. It make our application faster compared to the PHP code. Why it will make our application faster? Sometimes it use cache to display the output. So that's why this is fast as compared to the PHP code, because PHP code directly don't use the cache and all. And the second point, how Blade template syntax is simpler than the PHP code. So let me show you. So this is the welcome.blade.php, and if I want to display something or I want to execute some PHP code, then I need to make some code like this. First I have to open and close the angular braces, then I have to use these question marks, then we have to put the PHP, then we have to echo, and then we can show something, let's say hello Anil Sidhu, right? And if we want to write this code with the help of Blade template engine, it will be simpler. How? Let me show you. Simply we need to use the double curly braces, and then we can say that hello Anil Sidhu, and let me show you its output. This is the exactly same. If I'll use the div, then you will see it in the next line also. So let me put this line of code in the div so that it will be come in the next line like this. And for this again I'm using the div tag. Now you can compare it in the different line. So the output is exactly same. The thing is Laravel template engine syntax is really simple, and that's why we save lots of time here. Okay, so now the thing is, if I want to call any function, how I can do that? So again let me show you how I can call a function in the PHP. So let's say I want to show some random value, so I have to use their rand function like this, right? It will show the random output. And same thing, if I just want to use with the help of Blade template, just simply need to mention their rand like this, and here we go. This syntax is really simple compared to the PHP tags. And the now next thing is how we can use the loops and conditions and all. So what I'll do, I'll make a controller and a view file for user, and then we will send the data from controller to the view, and then we'll see how we can use loops and all, right? So that will be a perfect flow if we talk about the real scenarios, real projects. All right, so let me make the controller and view. So let's put their PHP artisan make controller, and controller name, let's say user controller. And similarly I'm making view also, view for user. All right, so now we have view as well as the controller. So what I'll do, I will create a function inside this function name, let's say index, and for now just a second, I'm returning there hello user. Don't forget to put semicolon at the last. Now you can copy this namespace, right? It will be the simplest way to call it inside the route file, right? And now go to the web.php. This is our route file. So use the use keyword, then put the namespace there, and then you can copy, or you can write it down also. I'm just showing the simplest way. Then you can mention their user controller, right? Don't forget to put the semicolon at the last, because I work with the different technologies like JavaScript and all. So sometime I just forget, that's why I'm mentioning. Anyways, so how we can call it now? Create a route with the get method, put the route path. So let's say I just want to call it on the root. Now in the second parameter, use their array, then put your controller name or class name and mention this is a class. And in second element of this array, mention your function name, which is index, which we defined here, right? And semicolon at the last. Come back there. Let me refresh it. Now you can see that hello user perfectly working fine. So what I'll do there, inside the user.blade.php, and one more thing guys. So if you only create user.php, then your Blade Template Engine will not work. You need to write only the PHP code there. So better you use the user.blade.php. Perfect. Okay, so what you need to do now, let me mention there h1 tag hello users, something like this. So now I don't need welcome.blade.php and neither I need web.php. I'm closing them and I'm calling this user.blade.php from the controller. So let's return, then view function, because we are calling a view there, and then the name of your file, which is user. You don't need to mention there blade.php. Refresh it. Hello user, perfectly working fine, no issue. So now let's say you have a users array. So let's keep a simple name just for a moment, then I'll make it array also. How we can pass it? Put their comma, use their array, and any name of that key, let me keep it users only, then mention the user variable like this, right? It will still work fine. Now how I can display this users? This is very simple. Either you can, let me put their h3 tag, either you can use the PHP tag, PHP like this, and echo dollar users, right? You can see that this is fine. Now either the other way, which is better also, h3 tag, double curly braces, and then simply use their users, all right? And don't forget to use dollar also, because this is the variable, and anil. So the second syntax is simpler, so I'm not using their PHP syntax anymore. Perfect. So this is how we can pass the data, even that we already saw in the previous videos. So now let's say we have an array inside this. I have few user, let's say Anil, then Sam, then Peter. I think 3 are enough for now. I think 3 is enough for now. So now if I just try to use these users, it will throw an error. Let me see. Here you can see that the reason is because array we cannot print directly. Either we need to use any loop to iterate it, or either we have to mention the exact element. So let's say I want to print the first one there. I want to use the first one there. Then we have to put there 0, because array basically start from the 0. So this is, you can see that Anil is there. If I use 1, Sam, if I use 2, then Peter will be there. All right. But I want to show all of them. Then how I can do that? For that, you need to use for each loop. And how we can use, see, in the Blade template, we use 2 types of syntax. First, for inline syntax, you can say that. For that, we can use these double curly braces. And if we need to use PHP code in the multiple lines, we use basically directives, which is start from the @. And now you can use for loop, if condition, for each, and anything. I'll show you many of them now, but let's start with the for each first, right? And then now mention there whatever you want to iterate. So I want to iterate the users, right? Users as $user means if we just display it, then we have to use their user to iterate all elements one by one. Then we can use the curly braces. No, actually you don't need to use their curly braces like the core PHP. You have to close it with the @ and for each, all right? And inside this, let's use h4 tag and double curly braces $user, and you will see there we have the old variable. So now Peter we can see 2 times, because first one is coming from the Abu and second one is coming from there. So you can comment it like this. This is working. Otherwise there is a one more way to comment in the blade template, use the double hyphen inside the curly braces at the starting and at the end. Now it will still not visible. So this is the way that how we can comment out in the blade template. Okay, so now let's say I want to make a for loop also. So I'll start with the iterate directive for, then variable we have to define I, start from the 0, I, $I actually, $I less than 10, then we have to mention $I plus plus and then curly braces. Again, no, we don't need to put their curly braces. We need to close it like this. And for, and now we can, let's say we can use any p tag, span, whatever you want to use. Let me just make the p tag there, and there I can mention $I. Here you can see that this is perfectly working fine, right? You can use some text also. Let's say value is something like this, and this will also work fine. Okay, now the next thing is how we can use the conditions there. So what I want to do, I want to show something. If the first element of this user's array is Anil, then this is the admin. If this is the Sidhu, then it should be show the username is manager, otherwise just show the user. Okay, so how we can do that? So there I want to use their conditions on the top so that we don't need to scroll much, right? So what I'll do there, use @if, and there we have to put the condition. So let's say users, this is definitely a variable, and if its first element, which is 0th element, equal to Anil, right? Then we have to end this and if, and just use their h3 tag and mention welcome admin, right? Here we can see that welcome admin. But let's say if the name is maybe just Bruce, right? Then it will not visible. But in that case, I want to show a else condition. How I can make the else condition there? @else, and after that use this again, any h3 tag or whatever I want to show, welcome user. Now you will see we got the welcome user. But now let's say if there is a Sidhu, then I want to show welcome manager. How I can do that? For that you need to use their @elseif, right? And in elseif again we have to put their $users 0th element equal to Sidhu. Then we show their h3 tag and mention welcome manager, right? I'll refresh it. Now you can see that welcome manager. All right. So this is how we can use the for each, for, and if condition and else if condition. Now last thing is, let's say you want to make your own function, PHP function inside the Blade template. How you can do that? For that you have to use their PHP directory, PHP, and you have to close it with the end PHP. Then let me make a function. Function name is, let's say, print name. Then I'll return something there, maybe hello Anil Sidhu, like this, right? Then what I'll do, how I can this function is already created, right? There should be no error at all. Okay, there is an error. Reason is I forgot to put their semicolon at the end. Okay, so how I can call it? Let me try to call it on the top inside the h2 tag. There again we have to use the double curly braces and mention there print name, and it should work like this. All right, so this is how we can make a PHP function inside the Blade template and how we can call. For interviews, yeah, there is a one more important thing. So if you will not use their Blade keyword, so let's say for now if I remove their Blade and I'll use their welcome.php, then if I come there and I refresh, it will not work. This template thing will not work. So template engine, Blade template engine only work if you are using php blade.php extension. All right. So thank you so much for watching this part. If you have any doubt, any question, you can ask me in the comment section. Thanks everyone.